All right, listen up. If your dating life is trash, if you don't have very good relationships, if you're not attracting the type of women that you want, you need to listen to me because I'm going to tell you exactly what to do, and all you have to do is follow along. Why desexualizing your brain unlocks masculine charm to attract any woman. That's the title of today's video. I'm going to show you step by step. So this is the problem with being thirsty and being in a lustful state 24/7, because this is the state that most guys are in. I know this because this used to be me, obviously, which is why I can tell you all this. You got to understand, every video on this channel, I've already made every mistake 5 times over. So here's the problem with being in a thirsty or a lustful state. First off, you are permanently at the disadvantage because she has what you want. You have to understand this. Okay, you're permanently at the disadvantage. So you wanting to sleep with her is validation, and I don't think that guys understand this. Like, as soon as you want that, you're instantly giving away some validation. You find her that attractive, you're willing to basically do whatever you have to do or say whatever you have to say to progress that interaction in the direction you'd like, and it makes you weak. So here's what I can tell you. Every date you go on, if sex is the end goal and the end result, 3 things happen, okay? Number 1, here's what's going to happen. She'll always have the leverage over you and your emotions. That's number 1. Number 2, you will never fully express yourself as you are now calculating your moves to say the right thing. And then number 3, you're controllable. So you become super weak, okay? And you don't even notice that this is happening because it's happening subconsciously on an emotional level. So now I want you to take a second and look at the world from a new lens. Imagine, just for a second, who you are and who you could be and what you'd be willing to say as you let your God-given personality shine through if a few things happen. If you actually don't care for once if she likes you, like you actually don't give a shit if she likes you, so you're finally willing to say whatever you want because you're free-flowing in your own personality, because sleeping with the woman is not your end goal. That's number 1. You actually don't care if she likes you. Okay, imagine who you could be if you actually don't care if you sleep with her. And then also, imagine who you'd be if you desire not to sleep with her as you actually see who she is as a person. Well, guess what's going to happen? Now you're going to say the things you want to say. You're going to do the things you want to do. You're going to act the way that you want to act because you don't care if you attract her or not. Think of the strength. Think of the swagger. Think of the charm that comes with that. Right? How about them apples? Think about that. So number 1, okay, guess what? You're the first guy now that she ever met who really doesn't give a shit. Like, you're actually the first guy she met who doesn't give a shit if she likes you or not. Because every other guy is just trying to say the right thing. Oh, tease her here. Oh, say this here. Do this on the opener. Make sure you don't do this here. So regimented. All for what? For what? You're going to really bend and break and adapt your personality verbally and say things differently to attract a woman? This is what we've came to, okay? So first, you're the first guy who now doesn't really give a shit. You have natural swagger and charm because you say what you want. And then number 3, you don't care who you offend or if they even find it offensive because you have no agenda. So it's like, if you really don't want to sleep with her and you really don't care if she likes you or not, do you understand how rock solid you're going to be in your own personality? So now shift your attention to this column. Here is what I have found, okay? How to desexualize your brain to attract women effortlessly. Effortlessly, okay? You're going to have more personality and more swag coming out of your ass than you've ever had in your life. Everything else you're going to see from every content creator is complete bullshit, and here's why. First off, I'm going to tell you this because someone has to tell you the truth, because no one really does that nowadays, is actually give you some advice that works, right? There is no bullshit made up 10-step checklist that the next influencer in his whatever on his videos wants to give you that he made up that day. There is no specific no jerking it protocol, no 5-step secret, no FAP hack protocol that you can do, okay? There is no magic game that you can play that you can subconsciously convince yourself that you can manifest the right desexualization energy in order to do this. All this stuff everyone talks about and watches. No. The only way to desexualize your brain truly, okay, this is going to be the only foolproof method. Keep in mind, the only way you can actually let go and you can finally be who you want to be, and you can finally talk the way you want to talk, and you can finally wear the clothes you want to wear, and you can finally be who you want to be, and you can finally express yourself the way that you would like to, because you're a unique individual. There's only one way. There's only one way. I'm going to tell you. I promise I'll tell you. The only way you desexualize your brain is by truly being fearful, okay, that you may actually go to hell or end up living in hell and you will be punished for bad decisions. That is the only way. If you every single day wake up and you say, okay, there's a right way to do shit, there's a fucking wrong way to do shit. It's my job to figure out the right way to do shit, and I'm not going to let my emotional impulses, no matter how I'm feeling, if I impulsively want to, this could be anything. You impulsively want to go eat a bunch of sugar. You impulsively want to go smoke, right? You all of a sudden feel like you haven't seen anyone for a while, or you haven't been on a date in a while, so impulsively you go watch these dirty websites, right? All this shit, okay? There's only one way to actually fix this. The only way that you'll actually fix this is if you feel some guilt and some remorse because you've done wrong. And you feel like there is punishment for bad actions on a spiritual level. Okay, this is the only way. So without full belief in that, you're screwed. Right? There's no guru, there's no content creator. I don't give a shit how many subscribers the next person you watch has. I really don't care. This is the only way. So until you truly don't give a shit if she likes you or not, that's the only way you're going to actually be who you need to be. But the only way you can do that is if you truly remove this lustful state of always being thirsty, and this is actually going to come from desexualizing your brain, and this is the only way that I've found personally. Everything else is horse shit because a couple days go by and then you forget about your random 10-step checklist, okay? So without full belief, you're pretty much screwed because you still have bad beliefs. Like you're not thinking deep enough, like, hey, like, what's going on in life? Why am I here? What is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? And then on top of that, you gotta ask, like, why is it that I'm not asking myself these questions? Like, why am I focused on Sunday's football game and not actually figuring out, like, hey, why the hell am I like here? Like, why is it that my hands are able to move and I can speak and I have consciousness and I can actually communicate, and like, why am I here? You got to actually ask yourself that. So here's why women would prefer if you act this way. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. Say this one more time. Here's why women would prefer if you act this way. Because God knows today, right? God knows today men will not do it unless they hear it from a woman and they believe that the ladies will like it. God knows that that won't happen unless we tie it back to the big end result you want of attracting that special someone. Because God knows that that won't happen, right? God knows that, men would do something for themselves for once, regardless of the opinion of women, right? God knows that that'll never happen, right? We know that that'll never happen today. It's so funny too. If you woke up one day and you realize that all of the women were saying, hey, we want to be approached more, you should come talk to us. All the men, you know what they do? They go, okay. And then you know what would happen if the next day, if all the women say, hey, all these approaches, get away from us. We all think that this is creepy and weird and all of you are weird. All the men would go, okay. Right? Listen. God knows that men will not do a damn thing unless they hear it from a woman. And this is the whole problem. So, you know what? Instead of trying to tell you otherwise, I'm not going to try to, go against human nature. I'll go right there with it and meet you where you're at. Okay? So here's why. Okay? Here's why women would prefer if you do it this way. Number one, every girl, here, you got to think of this in your whole life right now. I need you to think about this. Why desexualizing your brain will unlock masculine charm in the right way that you need it. I would bet to say, or I would probably guess, that every woman you've ever fallen in love with, you've lost. That's number one. Number two, I would probably say that every woman you've lusted over has thought that you were weak, or you've slowly became emasculated. And number three, I would say that probably every woman you've ever desired deeply in that way, you have failed all of her interest tests. This is why. This is the only answer. This is the only thing that I can give you. This right here is going to solve majority of your problems, because your problem lies in your root desire, and you're desiring the wrong thing, and it's controlling you on a fucking emotional level. So you got to wake up and see this. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you align with all of these beliefs, what I want you to do is I want you to go down below. I want you to check out what I have in the description. I created my own community. We have over 1,000 guys right now coming together, and I created my own like there's specific, what I call them, since the community is called Headman Nation, I created the 10 Headman Commandments. This is so you can get your life together. Everybody right now, we're all doing a 90-day challenge. I'm doing this too. I'm taking a physique photo every single day. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm giving guys backstage exclusive content every single night after the challenge is over, where I make a private video for everybody and I talk about my experiences. You should join us in that. This community is growing every day. It's the #1 spot where guys are actually getting dating help and dating success. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.